Let the rock roll play, and let the night winds of 1962 sweep in, along with the rolling wheels on the streets of California. American Graffiti isn't just a coming-of-age adventure, it's a film that fueled the dreams of an entire generation. But did you know that behind the scenes of this whirlwind 28-night shoot, someone nearly drowned, someone refused to cut their hair, and some scenes were even illegal? And that's just the beginning. Let's dive into more than 30 incredible facts about the masterpiece that paved the way for Star Wars and made George Lucas a legend. Number 40. All the cars in the film were borrowed from local residents. Due to budget constraints, the crew couldn't afford to rent or buy vintage 1950s cars. Instead, they reached out to classic car enthusiasts in the area. Each car owner was paid $20 to $25 and received a free meal on set. Number 39. Universal originally rejected the film's title. George Lucas initially wanted to name the movie Another Quiet Night in Modesto, but Universal Pictures disagreed, pushing for a more appealing title. In the end, Lucas settled on American Graffiti. Number 38. Paul Le Mat, John Milner nearly drowned. Due to the rushed filming schedule, a scene where Terry gets pushed into the water nearly turned tragic when Paul Le Mat ended up in a deep section and almost drowned. Number 37. Harrison Ford initially turned down the role of Bob Falfa, despite an offer of $485 per week. At the time, he was making more money as a carpenter in Hollywood. He finally agreed to take the part after the producers raised his pay to $500 per week. Number 36. American Graffiti was one of the first films to use pop music instead of an original score. Even with a limited budget, George Lucas was determined to license 41 rock roll hits from the 1950s and 60s, which cost nearly $90,000, a significant amount at the time. Number 35. Richard Dreyfuss' plaid shirt became a camera-focus tool. Cinematographer Haskell Wexler noticed that the checkered pattern on Dreyfuss' shirt was useful for adjusting the camera's focus in every shot. As a result, Dreyfuss often ended up being the test subject for camera setups. "I really hated that shirt," he later admitted. Number 34. Director George Lucas drew inspiration from his own life experiences when writing the script. The film was based on Lucas' teenage years in Modesto, California, especially his love for cruising around town at night with friends. Number 33. A low-budget film that became a massive hit. Despite having a budget of only around $777,000, American Graffiti grossed over $140 million, making it one of the most profitable films in cinema history. Number 32. The entire movie was shot in just 28 nights. The story takes place over a single night in 1962, following a group of teenagers as they drive around town, chat, party, and race. To keep the film authentic, George Lucas insisted on shooting entirely at night instead of using simulated lighting. The entire production wrapped in just 28 nights, remarkably fast by Hollywood standards. Number 31. Mel's Drive-In, the film's iconic diner, was revived thanks to American Graffiti. The real Mel's Drive-In was located in San Francisco but was torn down after filming. However, due to the film's popularity, the Mel's brand was revived and expanded into multiple locations across Southern California. Number 30. Without American Graffiti, there might not have been Star Wars. After American Graffiti became a massive success, Universal regretted not investing more in Lucas. This gave him the credibility and financial backing needed to launch Star Wars in 1977. Number 29. And finally, the sequel didn't live up to expectations. In 1979, Universal released more American Graffiti, but it failed to capture the magic of the original and quickly faded into obscurity. Number 28. The success of American Graffiti opened up a new path for Hollywood, inspiring a wave of films that explored nostalgia and coming-of-age stories in America, such as Animal House, Stand By Me, Grease, Dazed and Confused, and Almost Famous. Number 27. A fun Easter egg in the movie is the license plate Thex 138 on John Milner's 32 Coupe. It was George Lucas's way of paying tribute to his first film, THEX 1138, released in 1971. Number 26. When the film was completed, Universal Studios didn't show much excitement. They even considered re-editing it or turning it into a TV production. But that plan quickly changed when Francis Ford Coppola, fresh off directing the blockbuster The Godfather, said he would buy the movie and release it in theaters if the studio tried to interfere and water down its value. Number 25. Harrison Ford refused to cut his hair for the role. The producers wanted him to get a flat-top haircut, but Ford refused. As a compromise, they had him wear a white cowboy hat to hide his longer hair. Ford explained, "I was worried that if I got another role, I might not get it because of this haircut." Number 24. The producers were so confident in Richard Dreyfuss's talent that they let him choose between two roles: Steve, the kind-hearted high schooler who eventually wins the girl, or Kurt, a lonely guy who spends the night searching for a mysterious blonde. Dreyfuss chose to play Kurt. Number 23. Paul Le Mat and Harrison Ford had real-life tension. Just like their on-screen rivalry, Paul Le Mat, John Milner, and Harrison Ford, Bob Falfa, clashed off camera during filming. At one point, they nearly got into a fight, but eventually they became friends. Number 22. The Douglas Deck-7 featured in the final scene of American Graffiti was once leased by the rock band Grand Funk Railroad. Originally built in 1956, the aircraft served multiple purposes over 3 decades. Sadly, on its final flight in 1986, it crashed, tragically killing 3 crew members. Number 21. Only 2 of the high school characters were played by actual teenagers. Ron Howard and Charles Martin Smith, both 18, were the only teenage actors among the main cast. Most of the others were in their 20s, except for Mackenzie Phillips, who was just 12, and Harrison Ford, who was already 30. Number 20. John Milner's car became a cultural icon. The bright yellow 1932 Ford Deuce Coupe, driven by John Milner, played by Paul Le Mat, became one of the most legendary cars in American cinema. I was absolutely obsessed with John Milner's striking yellow hot rod. What about you? Share your thoughts or memories about this classic car in the comments below. Number 19. The name R2-D2 was born during the film's editing process. While syncing dialogue during post-production, someone asked Lucas for real to dialogue to R2-D2. Years later, when working on Star Wars, he used that exact abbreviation to name one of the most famous droids in movie history, R2-D2. Number 18. Some scenes were filmed without permits. The crew didn't have official permits for all the scenes, especially those involving cars driving through the streets. Some shots had to be done on the sly, forcing the team to move quickly to avoid police interference. Number 17. The movie wasn't filmed in Modesto, George Lucas' hometown. Lucas originally planned to shoot in Modesto, but the city had changed too much since the 1960s. Instead, the production moved to Petaluma, California, a small town that still retained its vintage charm. Is anyone from Modesto watching this video? That said, I know American Graffiti has fans from all over. Let's do a quick roll call. Comment where you're from below. Number 16. Richard Dreyfuss almost lost the lead role. At first, George Lucas thought Dreyfuss wasn't right for Kurt Henderson, believing he looked too polite and intellectual. But after multiple auditions, Dreyfuss convinced Lucas and landed the part. Number 15. Ron Howard and Cindy Williams' car kiss was completely improvised. The original script didn't include a kiss between Steve, Ron Howard, and Lori Cindy Williams. However, Lucas encouraged them to act naturally, and the spontaneous moment ended up staying in the film. Number 14. Wolfman Jack wasn't just a voice, he appeared in the movie. The legendary DJ, who played a huge role in rock roll culture, not only lent his voice to the film, but also appeared as himself on screen. Number 13. The mysterious blonde was originally meant to be a hallucination. Suzanne Summers played the woman in the white Ford Thunderbird, the one who kept Kurt up all night, wondering about her. In the original script, she was supposed to be revealed as a figment of Kurt's imagination, but this scene was never filmed due to budget constraints. Number 12. Toad's opening crash scene was completely unscripted. When Toad lost control of his scooter and crashed into the trash cans outside Mel's diner, it wasn't a planned stunt. He genuinely had trouble stopping the scooter, and George Lucas decided to keep rolling. Amazingly, none of the actors broke character or laughed. Number 11. Hundreds of young actors auditioned but didn't make the cut, including Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill wasn't cast in American Graffiti, but just a few years later, he got to work with George Lucas after landing the role of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. Number 10. Ron Howard's role in American Graffiti helped launch his TV career. His character in the film closely resembled Richie Cunningham, the role he would later play in Happy Days, which aired on ABC 2 years after American Graffiti. The movie's success helped push Happy Days into full production. Number 9. The high school gym dance scene was choreographed by Toni Basil. This talented dancer later became a famous singer with her hit song Mickey, one of the biggest tracks of the 1980s. Number 8. The movie inspired the creation of a movie theater in Petaluma. 2 decades after American Graffiti was filmed in Petaluma, a group of high school girls launched a campaign to build a movie theater in town. Their efforts got a major boost when George Lucas Company provided a copy of American Graffiti for them to screen at a fundraiser. Ultimately, their campaign led to the opening of a $9 million theater complex. Number 7. In one scene, a water balloon was aimed at the window near Carol as she sat in Milner's 32 Coupe. However, the throw missed and hit her directly in the face. This moment wasn't staged at all. Everything happened exactly as it appears in the film. Number 6. Johnny Weissmuller Jr., son of the legendary Tarzan actor Johnny Weissmuller, who played Tarzan in dozens of films during the 1930s and 1940s, appeared in American Graffiti in a small role. He played one of the 2 street troublemakers, credited as Badass 1, who threatens Terry the Toad in one of the scenes. Number 5. A promotional poster for American Graffiti featured all the characters in an exaggerated cartoon style. The artwork was created by Mort Drucker, the renowned illustrator from Mad Magazine. Today, the piece is on display at the Library of Congress. Number 4. Most of the film's scenes were shot at night, from 9 p.m. until dawn. Many crew members and actors who weren't filming at the time had to wrap themselves in blankets to keep warm or sleep in empty cars. Ron Howard recalled that most nights were very cold, but they still had to wear t-shirts to fit the setting. Number 3. In a playful prank, some cast members tossed Richard Dreyfuss into the pool at the Holiday Inn. Unfortunately, he hit his face on the bottom and ended up with a bruised eye. The next day, the bruise was covered with makeup thanks to the help of his co-star Cindy Williams. Number 2. Before becoming a director, George Lucas worked as a mechanic for imported cars. He envisioned American Graffiti as a way to capture and preserve American car culture, something he had passionately been a part of. Like a lot of kids growing up in the San Fernando Valley, I spent a ton of time driving around. I really felt the need to document that uniquely American dating ritual through the car. Number 1. Ron Howard didn't know how to drive when filming. Despite his character, Steve Bolander, spending much of the film behind the wheel, Howard didn't actually have a driver's license at the time. American Graffiti isn't just a classic movie, it was the launching pad for legends like George Lucas, Harrison Ford, and the way rock roll music was celebrated on the big screen. Thank you for joining us in uncovering the secrets, stories, and behind-the-scenes moments of this iconic film. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to continue exploring the fascinating world of movie history with us.